Alright, now that you know how to render light on a sphere, I think this would be a good exercise. Just draw a bunch of circles and then render them as spheres with light coming from the middle, and then shouldn't be too difficult. Remember where the core shadow is, and the opposite side's pretty much just going to be a copy anyway. So it's just more practice. And this should go pretty quick. And you should be able to see that line dividing light and dark in your mind fairly quickly. So I'm just, again, I use a soft brush for this. You know, if you're doing this in a different program, any kind of airbrush would be good. And if you are doing this traditionally, cross-hatching works as well. And right here what I'm doing is I am splitting the sphere as if the light is a bit underneath, so we're looking down a bit, so we still see a bit of shadow on the top surface, and in this case on the opposite side just gonna have a bit of rim light. Now I haven't talked about rim light before, but basically all it is when you have light that is just catching on the edge of the contour of a surface. So like that. And in this case, it's going to look something like that. And in this case, it's going to be like that. So again, this shouldn't be that difficult. If you are having difficulty with it, then you'll definitely want to practice and, you know, go back to some of the earlier lessons if you are not familiar with the concept on how to do this. And we can also, although there is nothing around, we could also add in some reflected light. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of the light, so it's not as bright as that light, and just add that in on the back side for things, assuming there is something to reflect back. And reflected light doesn't have to be, like, for instance, on these two spheres, I had the light coming exactly opposite to the way the light's coming, as if there was a wall right behind. But let's say there was an object here, or even these balls, if they were close, these spheres, they would actually reflect onto each other. So I'm not reflecting the spheres into each other, but the point is that reflected light doesn't have to be coming from the exact opposite direction as the light.